Thaumaturgy is a crafting mechanic in alchemy that makes you able to crush basic materials into others, and in this way yielding a lot of profits. Also makes you able to basically craft other materials for a cheaper price to use in other professions to get way better crafting margins. I think Thaumaturgy is going to be very, very big continuing this expansion. I have actually been sleeping on Thaumaturgy quite a bit. I did it a lot in the beginning of the War Within, and then I was literally printing millions with it, but then I decided to go some other routes and I slept on it until like a week ago. So now I have this goblin here fully optimized in Thaumaturgy, and it can basically constantly print me gold. So I have set up a second account for this, but that is of course nothing that you have to do. You can do this on your main account as well. The sad thing with Thaumaturgy is that it takes a bit of time to process all of the materials, but that is the fact with all of the professions right now. You have to spend time to make gold. So as you can see here now, I am processing storm charged leather quality 1. I am getting a lot of quality 2 materials, and I'm also getting a lot of these transmutagens, which then I can do Thaumaturgy on and get a lot of different materials as well. However, as you guys can imagine, it is quite impossible to know if this is profitable or not when doing this, because you're getting so much different stuff and Craft Sim is not accurate doing this. But for that, I have an insane solution for you all, and that is this completely free gold making spreadsheet you can find in my Discord channel, which is going to be linked in both the description and probably in the top comments as well. In here, all you have to do is input your current auction house prices into this price list down below, with all of the fields here containing a star, which is going to be all of the fields here. After that, those numbers up here is going to change, and you will be able to see if you can make profit doing a Thaumaturgy on those 3 different materials. Maybe we will add more materials in the future, but this 3 is going to be the main ones that you are going to work with when doing this. So as you can see here, for example, Gloom Shitting right now with the current prices, that is not updated by the way, has a 4.6% return on investment after auction house cut. So by processing 100,000 shittings, you will be left with over 40k profit, which might not sound the best, but in the War Within you are fighting with small margins. So if you continue using these materials when crafting in your other professions, you are going to be king, because this is the return on investment after the auction house cut. So that means that you would have almost a 10% return on investment here on your materials before selling them. So if you then use them in another profession, you already have a 10% edge, right? And that compounds when doing all of your compound crafting. So for example, when milling your herbs in inscription, you already have them a lot cheaper than they are on the auction house. That in turn is going to give you way cheaper inks, which then is going to give you way cheaper ciphers. And if you want to make missives, for example, is going to make you way cheaper missives. So as you guys can realize, this is going to compound for every craft you make, and you will make a lot of gold doing this. But however, you can also just simply sell all of the materials at once on the auction house when you are done with this. I think the margins is quite low at the moment. This was this morning when I was buying. The prices is going a bit up and down now, so it is quite a unstable market, but this is going to be stabilizing now over time more and more as the patch has gone further, because we are still in quite of a volatile market since patch release. Storm charged leather here was even better to do, by the way, but I think that you would be able to look at between like 8 and 15% margins from time to time here doing this, and it is so simple. However, for the Thaumaturgy, you need a bit of a setup. You can as well, of course, find this setup here in the spreadsheet, but I'm going to show you in game what you need. So for the equipment in alchemy, it is simple. You're going to need a blue tool with resourcefulness and resourcefulness enchanted, of course, because resourcefulness is the only thing that is going to impact Thaumaturgy. So multicraft is going to be completely useless here. Don't even bother that. You should also then be getting the blue accessories, of course. It is important that you get both, because you need the skill to be able to make the rank 1 materials into rank 2s. Even if you buy rank 2 materials when you do Thaumaturgy, because they might be lower price sometimes, you still need to be able to do the transmutagens to rank 2, and they act like a rank 1 material, so you still need the skill points for that. In terms of if you use Q1 or Q2 mats when you are doing Thaumaturgy, it's not gonna matter, because you're gonna be enough skill either way to yield quality 2 materials when you are done with the Thaumaturging. In terms of specialization, here comes a part where it is a bit sad with alchemy. You need a lot of points to do this. You're going to need, I think, 220 or 225 points in total. It might seem a lot, but I think I was able to pull this off in slightly above 2 weeks, because there are things that you can do to get a lot of knowledge points. I have a guide on how to get over 100 knowledge points in 1 day on a fresh character. I will be linking that in the description, of course, because then you will be set almost 50% on the way in the first day, but then the grind starts. So the points that you want to get, and you cannot start doing this before you have all of this, is like this: 55 in Thaumaturgy, then 25 in all of the transmutagens, 20 in this gleaming one as well, and you also need 50 points in alchemical mastery. This is going to be the full setup. It's very, very simple, but it requires a little bit of catch up. To get fully catched up as fast as possible, make sure you do your patron orders every single day. You get new catch up ones every day, like 2 per day, and you also get 2 times per week. You get a few extra ones which heals more KP as well, so that is going to be important. Make sure you do the weekly quest for extra knowledge points. Make sure you do the weekly digging of the dirt, which will give you 4 knowledge points per week. Also, Darkmoon Fair is coming up, and if that's not active, you cannot do that, but if it is, it gives you a little bit of skill points and also a little bit of knowledge points. But yeah, there are a lot of different sources for knowledge points, and if you stay consistent, you will be done in about 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, I would say. It might sound long, but it really isn't. The time just flies by, guys, as you probably know. So I would start setting this up sooner rather than later, because I think especially in the future of this expansion, this is going to be very good for you to get your own materials cheaper, because you are fighting against small margins, as you guys probably know if you are crafters, and this is definitely going to help you out in this way. Also, of course, if you are a big degen gold maker, maybe you want to set up multiple accounts. Having this kind of setup to just casually passively print you tons of gold, so that is also an option if you are more degenerate and like a huge gold maker. But it's totally, of course, up to who you are as a player and what you can afford and not. Of course, not everybody can have multiple accounts running and stuff, so it completely depends on who you are and what your plan is. I hope you guys have enjoyed this kind of video. If you want more videos like this, please let me know in the comments below. Make sure you join the Discord once again, guys, to take advantage of our completely free spreadsheet. Also constantly running giveaways in there. I am live on Twitch every day as well, and I'm letting you guys know in the Discord, of course, when I go live. Really appreciate you guys watching this once again. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, let me know what you think, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Goodbye.